Hi all, today's topic is all about Project Bench. It was 10 a.m. in the morning. I'm about to start my office task. Suddenly, I received a call from my manager saying that there is a client project developed in Java. He will mail me a list of employee sheet out of which I have to select only one as there is only one vacancy in this project. Outwardly, I behaved so professional, but inner feeling, I was really excited and dancing because this is my first interview that I'm taking to other folks, experiencing a new thing in my life. Then immediately I called to my colleague and told these things. He laughed at me and asked whether I'm ready enough to take the interview. Then, yeah, a question mark arises. Ever since I joined in real-time project, I made friendship with only three things. That is Stack Overflow. Second thing is Control C, copying the required code snippet, and next one is Control V, pasting in IDE. But he is right. If all of a sudden when someone asks me what is difference between hash map and hash set, what is method overloading and define abstraction, explain thread life cycle and what is JVM, JRE, JDK, I too will get confused. So immediately I opened laptop and typed for Java interview questions. I noted required questions and ready for taking interview. As I'm having 2.9 years of experience, I thought I need to interview freshers itself. So packed up with basic Java questions. Then I checked inbox where I received a mail from my manager as discussed. I thought the list would be around 10, out of which I need to interview a few and select one. But that's not the case. The list was around 486. 486 folks. My mind blocked on seeing the list. Count is like a crowd. The sad thing is that joining date of these folks was mentioned in January. It means since January they are on bench approximately 6 months. I really felt bad on seeing this. Even now, vacancy is only one. I didn't understand whether the mistake is because of management or employees. If we observe for one vacancy, 482 folks are competing. If in a company, if some folks are assigned with project, hundreds of folks are on bench as per my knowledge. Then what about the people who haven't even employed? So what is their situation? It's like a big question mark for me. I thought of identifying the mistake from both the sides, like whether it is from management or employees. So now I started picking 1 out of 50 associates because I had tasks to be completed, like my current sprint gonna end. So that way I filtered only 10 out of 482 associates by random selection. Now, out of these 10 also, because of my stand-up calls and internal meetings of project, I have to delete 4 more folks. So finally, around to 6 folks, I'm ready to take interview. I started calling each associate, let's name with alphabets. Okay, let's assume A to F. Okay, 6 associates respectively. So here, the first person is A. Folk A was an other call. I tried to call him thrice, but he haven't left my call. He was still in other call. So because of lack of time, I moved to the second person. He's B. He responded to the call. Then he gave his introduction. When I asked him, "Are you ready for interview?" he became silent. I understand his situation and told him to take time for 2 hours, and I'll call him after 2 hours. Like that, I told him. Then, after taking interview of other folks, I called to the second person again. So I questioned him what are features of Java. He told Java is OOPS related. Next question I asked him, what is inheritance? He told it is one of the OOPS concepts. So I asked him what is that exactly. In a very cool and friendly manner I asked him. For every question I asked, he's relating to the same OOPS concepts or answering something out of the topic. But maybe some people, they may know everything, but they can't speak and get confused. So I gave him feedback to revise all the concepts. You may receive interview calls at any time. So be prepared until you get project at least. So this way I suggested him so that at least he will be prepared and don't get confused. Then we'll go to the third person. After introduction, when I started asking him Java question, he told, wait, 1 minute. And I can even hear his typing keyboard sound. And he's answering exactly Google answers, like oral reading. Like we can easily identify that. I couldn't help him unfortunately because every question he answered using highly grammatical and technical professional terms from like popular website. It's just like an oral practice he was doing. So helplessly I just gave him a feedback like when you're trying to learn any concept, try to learn it with an example. Frame your own definition from your understanding on the concept. So this is the one I just gave him as a feedback. Then let's move to the person D. He told he's from Triple background. He learned Java on his own, it seems like. Interestingly, he answered everything very well. So from basic questions, I moved to some real-time project scenarios and tried to tell him what we use in real-time project and asked him to learn framework which will be helpful to him for his career. Then I moved to person E. He introduced himself and when I asked him, shall we start the interview on Java? He told, ma'am, I'm scared of programming language. I don't know, ma'am, I can't learn. I'm going to abroad by resigning. Then I asked him, will you settle down in abroad? He told, yes. I asked him, why don't you stay in India? He told, I can't learn this programming and all. Then I asked, if you go abroad, then do you think there is no need of learning technical things? Then he was silent. I suggested to my best, like even you change the place, problem will not be solved. Once you remove fear in your heart and understanding the problem and trying to find the solution, it will automatically get solved. So he told, okay ma'am, sure, like that. But I don't know whether he followed my suggestion or not. I told him all the best. Meanwhile, I'm getting call from person A who was in other call. So this A also technically good, almost equivalent to person D. Then I called to F. 5 times I called this person F but is not reachable. So I waited for 30 minutes more. Still F didn't call me. And when I was calling F, it's still unreachable. So out of these 6, let's eliminate F. Now out of this 5, let's start evaluation. Let's select A because he answered very well. Next B. I cannot proceed further. B because he tried to answer out of topic and change question itself to answer. Sorry B. Now next we'll move to C. Everyone does cheating in their life in some situations in order to make them get out of that problem. I accept, but when we are cheating and others can easily identify them, then what is the use of cheating? So same case here. So I couldn't select him unfortunately because he was trying to cheat and he's easily identifiable. Next person is D. I selected him because he responded call very quickly and gave his best in the interview. So the next person is E. He himself told that he doesn't know programming language. So I suggested him to build his career by leaving fear to learn. So we can't select E as well. Among these 5, I selected 2 and I called my manager and gave details of A and D. My manager asked to select only 1 folk out of them. Like both are almost equally talented. Out of these 2, only one reason is different to eliminate 1. So that is responsiveness. Like A didn't respond quickly whereas D is very responsive and delivered answers very well. So that's a small reason, but it may become so important reason sometimes. It's very weird, but I'm helpless. So I selected D and told to my manager. Then I'm back to my work. I received a call from my manager again at 4 p.m. around saying the person whom I selected got rejected in managerial round because of lack of communication skills. I literally got tears in my eyes, like whatever I was doing since morning became like a garbage collector. He told there is a girl who is having a good communication skills and I need to interview her to check whether she's technically good or not. I don't know what to do. But yeah, I told okay. I took interview of her. She answered 7 out of 12 questions. Overall she is good, but scenario based questions little bit she's weak. I gave my feedback to her like in which concepts she need to improve. Then immediately I called to my manager and said theoretically she's good but practically like hands-on wise little bit weak. He told that the team can guide her. she can improve, and finally manager selected her. Finally. Now, what is the reason that I need to convey you all these huge information? Like, we just think we are not selected, we are on bench and try to get angry on organization. Okay, I agree to some part, it is right. Not providing opportunities is completely their mistake. But we need to understand there is mistake from our side too. Out of these six, there are many mistakes even we might also doing the same things when we are on bench. So let's avoid these things immediately to get project. The first one is not responding to calls. See guys, until we get project, we should be careful. If we are getting a call from new number, please lift the call. It may be some HR or interviewers who may give you project and they're trying to reach you. So don't neglect calls. The second thing is manipulation of questions, answers, and answering out of topics. This is really silly. I remember some of my friends in BTech used to do this. They used to write same question paper in answer sheet and submit. But that is written exam. We should not do these things in interview, right? So, for every question, if you know something, please answer. Otherwise, be genuine so that there will be at least some good impression left on you, that you accepted that you are not aware of those topics. So everyone should be skilled at something, right? Not the same thing. So that's not a problem at all. The third thing is having no pretending or managing skill. We really see very good actors around us in real life, right? Sometimes we ourselves do some acting to escape from work or to take leave from manager, like personal problem I'm having, I need leave for today. So these are all acting skills. Then when you are trying to act before an interviewer, you should be more smart, because interviewer is always identifying your loopholes and trying to reject you. Okay, not all the interviewers, but it's their duty to do that, right? So you should be more smart enough when you're trying to act before an interviewer. So person C couldn't do that. He used words like wait 1 second. Yeah, like he's typing and he's making sounds. Then again 1 second. Like then he answered exactly Google answers with. So what I'm trying to suggest is, please be smart enough if you're trying to cheat. Okay, prepare yourself when you're cheating and try to avoid little things that makes you get identified. Okay, don't be like cat closing eyes and drinking milk assuming that no one is seeing it. Okay, that's not the case. Be careful. So the fourth point is scared of learning. Think of your childhood when you are learning to walk on your own. So when you're walking, you would have fallen many times, right? Even though you get up and try to walk again and again until you get perfect walking. Same here also, when you didn't even start learning something, how can you achieve something? So please start learning new thing that will be helpful to your career. Daily, even 15 minutes you spend on what you want to learn, you will feel so confident one day. So the fifth one is unreachable mode. Please don't keep your phone silent or in switch off, out of network in office hours. It creates very bad impact when someone want to approach you. In my initial days, I got very good scoldings from my manager for doing this thing in my first company. So please don't do this. And sixth point is communication skills. This is really sad to tell. I too like my native language than English. I feel very comfortable talking in my mother tongue. But what we can do these days? Speaking English fluently became mandatory thing to get jobs. I observed many skilled people are not getting jobs because of this communication skill. Lack of this communication skill only. I can suggest you, please learn English at least for interview purpose. No need to become an expert in it. At least practice introduction part in front of mirror for 5 times. You will see a lot of improvement. So now coming to management side, okay, from management side also mistakes are there, okay, do exist. Sometimes they don't do proper project mappings. They don't provide opportunities. Many internal politics also will be there. So we can't do anything for that. So from our side, all that we can do is whenever we get an opportunity, we should be ready enough to face that. Should not step back for any reason. So whenever opportunity is approaching you, be ready to face it. You just need to do a little practice every day in order to face any difficulty. So that's all guys. I'm really sorry if the video length is too high, because I just want to explain you people very clearly, like what is the scenario, how you have to be prepared to crack the project interview internally inside a company and move out of this bench period with a very good project. That's all my motto is. So thanks for listening. Try to avoid the mistakes that I have mentioned before, and try to get the project and learn the things and grow career wise. Don't forget to subscribe Savipa Thoughts, and if you have any queries related, you can mail me to this one savipaqueries@gmail.com, and feel free to comment in the comment section that if you are being on bench, so what are the things that you are going through and what are the difficulties are you facing and how you are trying to avoid those things. Thank you. Take care.